So these are the UI element. We'll just go through the slides. UI interface elements are the part we use to build apps and website. Of course, they are interactivity. They add interactivity to a user interface, providing touch points for the users as they navigate their way around, right? Okay, the types of UI elements. This is again important. There are more types of actually. There are four types of, yeah. I think three are written over here. And first is the input elements. Input elements is what you want some input from your user. Let's say you want them to first enter their email ID and password, and then only you would want them to move forward. So and you would also provide the button also. So button is like you are asking for input that they would you want to execute something, like once they add the email ID and password, when they hit the login, you would basically take them to the next page in a way. So that button is also an input. Okay. Then there are output element. Output elements are responsible for showing the results again the various inputs elements. So when you have the input, you would always want to show some feedback, right? So want to show the so we'll also see those elements as well. And there are helper elements. Sometimes you have to give some more context to a particular element. So there the helper elements comes into play. We'll just see those. Okay. You can see input elements, check boxes. You want user to provide their choices, right? There where you will use the check boxes. And radio button is like where you want them to select one option from the given options, right? Then there are drop downs, there are this combo boxes, right? You might have seen this when you're shopping on any particular website, right? Then there are buttons, toggles, on off switches. See, this is this I was talking about. Email ID input field, password input field, and then the button. These are all input fields, and this creates a component in a way. Date picker, confirmation dialogues, sliders, staples. Staples you must have seen in grocery apps, or I think in shopping apps as well, where you want to change the quantity and all. So this particular element is called as stepper element. Okay. Then there are alerts. These are the output elements. Once user give you the input, you would show them some information. There might be some alerts. Okay. Alert would be like for error. This is for warning. This is just the general info. And this is maybe success message. Let's say payment is successful or booking is successful, something like that. Okay. That is like you are showing the output to the user. You are just giving feedback to the user for their inputs. Okay. The toast messages that comes automatically. You must have seen for in YouTube, whenever your internet is off, it shows like you are offline. Whenever your internet is up, they shows your toast saying you are back online, something like that. Then whenever they receive any particular notifications, there's a notification badge over here. That is also an output element. Then there are charts. Once you have the data, you would always present it in a infographical way. So chart helps you do that. So it's an output element. Okay, these are the helper elements. You must have seen these three dots, right? You are basically, this is called this. The funny thing about it is called by a lot of words, right? Uh, the Apple usually called it as a uh, menu or something, some menu. I'm not able to recollect that. Uh, they use it horizontal fashion. In Android, they use it in a vertical fashion. Okay, it's called as kebab menu, meatball menu, ellipsis, overflow menu. This give you more functionality regarding a uh, particular element in a way. Okay, then there are hamburger menu where you must have seen hamburger menu that is widely used in various apps. Then there is a bento menu. It is same as this one. You must have Google phones, right hand top. Yeah, yeah. You guys are right. So bento menu is also helper menu. It shows you the more options that are inside it. Okay, I think in the browser also it is there, right? When I go to Google, yeah, over here, like where they are hiding all their services. Then, okay, navigation menus. Specifically, when you click on the uh, hamburger icon or the bento menu, you will get the navigation menus. List of links, right? This is mostly in the header. When you hover over something, you will get the list. So again, that is a helper menu. Helper menus are more on a navigational uh, kind in a way. Accordions. So always remember these names also. I'm not how much you're familiar with, but as a designer to designer, when you will be talking, you would be using these terms. Okay. You want to add accordions on your website. You want to add breadcrumbs on your website. So breadcrumbs you must have seen, right? Any website you can remember who shows the breadcrumb? Nowadays, I have seen not a lot of website uses the breadcrumbs, but earlier there were a lot of websites they were using breadcrumbs. I'll have to think harder. Let's see if I want to show you the breadcrumb.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
these are the breadcrumbs, right? So I can directly quickly go to mobiles and accessories, or maybe in mobiles, and I can then click on something and then navigate. Okay. So these are the breadcrumbs. Then pagination you must have seen on the Google itself, right?
The
Google
bottom.
show it in more creative way. Like let me search hi. At the bottom you would see these are the paginations. Okay, next one is carousels. You must have seen these carousels on multiple website. Search field, Google is an example that we just saw. Okay, in search field, actually, when you are actually typing, okay, it's basically input, right? But it also provides you some suggestions and based on your typing, right? Next is tab bar, which is usually at the bottom of some of the apps. Then there are wizards, like you'll have 1, 2, 3 processes to do. So step by step, you would go to those. Then, so there is a information kind of a helper elements are like these tooltips, right? Whenever you just hover on something for a while, and then you would see something is popping up, which is basically providing you the more information about this thing, that element. Okay, so tooltips are helper menu. Icons, of course, they help you understand the context of anything. Like these menus, like if you see like, if you're on Instagram and if you think like that like icon where you press and it becomes red, it's a helper menu. No, that is the input element. Okay, but where you see like, okay, like 293 or something, 300, like 300, that is the helper menu. Okay, 300 people have liked these things. Okay, so this icon in the context changes its position from helper menu to input field and all of those things. Okay, progress bar, of course, if you have a determinate process, then there is a progress bar. If it is an indeterminate process, usually for the indeterminate process, I personally don't use progress bar or something like this. Uh, I think the spinner is better. If there is a buffered is, again, we know like this is how much it has been buffered, and this is kind of a progress itself, right? And then there are the indeterminate and determinate. This has also been used in some of the websites. Okay, like if you search for a flight, make my trip or something like that, they usually use this indeterminate and determinates progress bar. I would suggest you guys find out that. Okay, then there are notifications, message box, modal window. All of these are helper elements. We usually don't call them a helper element. We usually call this the notification component, message box component, model windows. Okay, model windows are like the pop-ups. Some people call it pop-ups also. So there is, I will tell you there are two kinds of windows. One is model, one is non-model. Non-model में आप you don't see the black uh, tinted element on the back. Okay. On in the model, you will always see like this is on top of something. When it is non-model, then uh, it is like a pop-up, but not exactly as it. It's kind of a bottom sheet or something. Okay. Next one is these are the tags. Loader, as you would know, as in you must be you all would be searching on or visiting various websites, so you would have seen these elements. Groups and container. So the groups and containers. So these are the widgets. These are the UI containers, right? You must have seen this card view on in various website. Then there are sidebars.